let's actually go over a quick world builder tip. As always, to try and help out the world builders. Of course, these are just casual little tips, things I picked up along the way. I mean, I'm hardly like the guy when it comes to world building, but I do have some things that might be able to help and, you know, give you guys some good inspiration, let's put it that way, because that is what we'll be covering today. We're going to go over inspiration and what you can do to get inspiration. So let me do this one sec. Anyway, so what I will suggest is, if you have an idea for a map, or if you are working on a map and you have a certain theme in mind, then try and find real-world pictures of that exact theme that you're going for. So, where can you find real good, real-world pictures? Well, I tell you go to maps.google.com. And there you go. You just kind of type in wherever you want to get started. So, for example, if you're making, I don't know, like a Greek-style island thing, then just kind of fly over to Greece. Like, doesn't matter. Pick an island, switch on the satellite thing, and then, of course, you can see a bit more. And just kind of zoom into where you kind of want to go. And see if some pictures show up. Okay, so if you want to see the pictures, you have to click this thing here. I don't know if you can see it very well on stream, like poof. And then if you fly over, there we go, like pictures will start to emerge. They will say where they're taken and things like that. So you can just have a look at the picture, and there we go. We can see some of like mountains and stuff, which will give you an idea of the shape of the mountains you might want to go for, the textures related to them, how the cities would look, and things like that. You know, always nice little cool tips and tricks. Of course, you can always go one step further, which let me see if this works here. You click somewhere on the road. No, it doesn't work here. So when you click somewhere on the road, sometimes you'll see like a picture over here showing up, and that's what we need. So I'm just going to go to a different Greek island. Like, let's see a big fat one that everybody knows. I really need to brush up on my Greek geography here. Let's see. Wasn't there... Ah, here we go. We can go to this one. Yeah, this is a big fat one. Everybody knows. Look at that. Look how big. Okay, so basically what you could do is you could just click anywhere on the road, and then you'll see this picture, right? You click this, and it puts you in Street View. So basically, you can now see as though you're actually there at the location. So this allows you to kind of like follow the roads. It's always on the roads that this works. But it'll give you like a good impression, how certain things look, how certain things, you know, would come together. Like, for example, like, okay, you can't really see that much here, but you can still get a feeling of the colors that are used, the color of the light of day, things like that. And you can use this in certain places that, you know, Google Street View, whatever, has gone to. So this actually works worldwide. So if you guys are like, oh, you know, what is this? You know, you can do this wherever, okay? So even if you're not doing this for the sake of world building, you can literally check out wherever you want. Just kind of zoom in, like, screw it. Let's go somewhere north. Let's go Sweden. Ooh, let's go Sweden. See, is that a main road, this? No, it's not. I think it's a map border. But even this, right? You can basically already get an idea of like the mountains, the style, how it looks. And there's another cool thing that I'm going to show you guys. Let me see if I can do a street view here, for example. That would be sick, right? Yes, I can. Look at that. Okay, so there we go. We're in Sweden, boys. We're in Sweden, and look at that. So you can already get a nice idea for landscapes, how mountains would look, and things like that. We've got a river here. This is just completely random. I'm just randomly flying out to these things. Anyway, so if you want to get out of this, I usually just press escape. But basically, there are a couple other cool things you can do. So especially in like mountainous regions, you can do... Give me a sec. Is this it? Zoom out and see the world in 3D. Yeah, I think that's it. And then you click 3D. All right, here we go. And then it says you have to hold control. You can actually turn the camera and stuff. So now it actually will show mountains a little more mountainy and stuff, like especially back there. Let's go over here, right? Again, this is all just meant for like inspiration, trying to find out which textures would work together because it's based off of real life. So it's just gonna work. Okay, there's not much going on here in Sweden. Let me try and go to the Alps, which, wait, oh my god, everything's upside down. Where the hell are the Alps? Everything's upside down. It's so funny, geography goes haywire when everything's upside down. I think they're over here. Here we go, yeah, these are the Alps. So look, this is still in 3D mode, right? Look at that, you get some very cool ideas, some very cool concepts and things you can see with the mountains and stuff, the texturing, where the tree line stops and things like that. You know, it could be very useful if you're making this kind of style map. And of course, this applies to any style you want. So if you want to go to the desert and find something related to a desert map, then go there, have a look at everything and blah, blah, blah. So that's pretty cool. And of course, you will have these pictures showing up at the bottom. So if you just scroll somewhere, zoom in somewhere, they will update accordingly, and you'll see what these areas look like. Of course, this will be like mostly tourist pictures and stuff, but you know, for inspiration, if you're making like a desert map, then I do suggest just go out somewhere here to these desert locations, zoom in, see if you can get a decent picture. Let me just try. Probably desert won't have that many pictures though, but still, you know, it'll give you some cool ideas. Wait, there was a cool one there. Like, let's see this there. Yeah, not bad, right? Not bad. You can see how these cliffs work and things like that. So, yeah, real-world pictures, they can actually really help. Especially, like, it'll be like that 5 to 10% that you won't think of, right, when you're making a map. But, you know, by looking at real-world pictures, real-life pictures, it will make a difference. So that's just something cool you could check out. Also, regarding mountain ranges, every mountain range is different. So, you know, if you are making, like, a load of mountains, you can check out different locations. So, yeah, guys, keep that in mind. I just want to show you that quick tip. It's very basic and very, like, yeah, I guess. But, you know, it's something you could just add, you know. Is map flow. So, basically, map flow, what is it? Well, basically, I guess I sort of coined the term for 0 Hour, but it was out there. It did exist. First time I heard of it was back in maybe the year 2000, when there was a guy called David Munich who made some first-person shooter maps. He came up with it. I saw him talking about it in an interview. And basically what it comes down to is this. You want to make your map easy for the players to play. So he made a map for Unreal Tournament. I don't know if you guys know that game, but it's first-person shooter. You run around as fast as you can, kill shit, blah, blah, blah. Something similar to Valorant, but you have a lot of pickups in the game. You can pick up guns, weapons, ammo, whatever, health, you name it. You can do those things. And he actually said the last thing you should do when you make maps for those kind of games is put like an armor pack in the very, very corner or something, or like a health somewhere else, or make a, you know, a superpower difficult to get to. He's like, no, don't do that, because if you do that, you're just gonna piss off the players. They're gonna have to stop doing what they want to do just to kind of like get out of their comfort zone and go pick up a freaking pickup just to go back and then play the game normally. He's like, what you should do is if you have a hallway, then in the very center of that hallway, put like 5 ammo packs in a row that people are gonna pick up anyway. They're gonna walk there anyway, but now they just get it, and it just gives them that extra nice bit of flow going in the map where they don't have to question, oh, should I pick this up or not? It just feels natural. They're already attacking a guy, and then they chase him down, they pick up some things along the way, and that is what you need, he said. That gives really good gameplay, and players love it. So I thought about it. I was like, okay, is that something that actually could also apply to RTS, you know, real-time strategy games? And at the time, no joke, at the time, the only map that was really played in 0 Hour was Tournament Desert, okay? No joke. This was back in like 2004 that I started thinking about this and stuff. And let me show you guys Tournament Desert real quick. And I can explain to you why I think there is some merit to this, all right? It's pretty cool concept. So let's fire up Tournament Desert. But there's actually really cool stuff, man. I see Cyrus D. Unreal Tournament, man. Yeah. It's a good game. It's a good game, you know. As older people, like, you know, the older gamer generation be like, oh, that's the shit, man. All right, anyway, let me show you guys. Let me see. Okay, it doesn't kick me out. Okay, good. So basically, Tournament Desert, you all know the map, right? You start here, and the other guy starts over here. And generally, if we're talking about flow here, right? Like, if you're playing, what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to get your supply, you know, and then get the other supply. Okay, that's great. But then there's also an oil here, and then, of course, there's money in the middle. Now, what you will see a lot of players do is they will just, like, let's take a GLA. GLA is perfect here as an example, you know? They will try and get the money here, and they will get a tunnel network, and then they get a forward tunnel network here for defensive purposes, right? Now, this is a really good example. They get that tunnel, and immediately they can put one RPG in here, one RPG in here. It's just natural. It's easy. You already want to defend this area. If these buildings did not exist, you would already still place down a tunnel here. So this is an example of good flow where, you know, it helps the GLA, and it's instead of having a building all the way on the side or something that they can't really get to, it's made really easy for them. Then, you know, if you want to expand to get the middle, you already have a tunnel network here, so it becomes quite easy to then, you know, flow into the middle of the map and start expanding here, right? So I started thinking about this. I go, holy shit, there might be something to this, you know? So this is an example of flow. The same goes with China. Sometimes the China goes all the way forward to build a supply here, and then when the supply is ready, they can immediately build a war factory here that is nice and close to the enemy, so they can start attacking early, right? So these are just nice examples of flow. And I thought, okay, what about defense, though? Because this map, you can defend quite nicely, quite easily to an extent, you know? It's not impossible. I was like, is that also something that's very important? And then I started thinking, I'm like, okay, how about I check out the second most played map, which is not a 1 vs 1 map, which is a 2 vs 2 map. So that 2 vs 2 map is still way too overplayed, way, like, nowadays still. And that is the one and only Fallen Empire, right? Same story here with Fallen Empire. Okay, so for those of you guys who know this map, if you're noob, you'll be like, oh man, I hate this map. You know, it's so open. Oh, I can't do anything. It's like, I constantly die and get attacked and whatever. So you'll see the noobs, they cower in the corner, sort of guarding their supply. But the pro players, oh man, they're like flying all over the map, okay? They try and get the money here, you know, they try and get the money, of course, their main money. They try and get the money here and all these things. And here's where it gets interesting, right, regarding flow. They will try and, like, you'll see China players, for example, they will put a war factory here, okay, and then they'll put mines on it to kind of corner this off as both a defense and an offense move, because they can pump out units that can quickly reach this enemy supply, right? It's all nice and smooth. It all just clicks. It makes sense, you know? And these are the things. And this map is very, very open, right? So it's easy to go in and do some damage, you know, a tech RPG, something can do a lot of damage. And that's just it. It's so easy to go and do these things. And that's the thing with flow. If you look at the minimap, you can attack a guy going on the left side here. You can go a bit more straight through the main entrance. You can go along the side here, try and squeeze and attack like that. So there's like literally already 3 ways you can sort of attack through this one big main entrance, right? Another thing is you can go around here and then attack as well. So because there's so many ways to attack, it's really up to the player how they want to do it. They can get as creative as they want. So instead of the map sort of forcing a type of engagement, you leave it up to the players on how they want to do it. And the thing is, the more open a map is, the more you automatically get this happening by default. You're going to have a good flow for attacking. For the resources here, if you have this cache and this cache, you know, let's say the bottom team is here, they're all happy and stuff. It is quite difficult. It is a bit of a hurdle to try and secure this cache, right? There is just that difficulty. The wall is a bit in the way, and it's just a bit difficult. So that would be an example of not as good a flow. But overall, if you look at the overall map, then you'll see a lot of players really enjoy it, and they really like to play like this map and stuff like that. Anyway, so I also want to show you guys an example of like what is bad flow. Okay, so I just showed you guys 2 official maps. It kind of got my like head thinking like, wait a minute, is there something to it? Now I'm sorry, I know TK Leo's in the chat, but he's gonna get pissed off. So basically the map, I would say, like, that I was just quickly thinking like, okay, what can I use as bad flow? Wait, maybe I can TK Leo, I'm sorry man, but it's all meant for the sake of education. So all right, here we go. Okay, yes, I got the more zoomed out thing. So this was Platform Wars, created by TK Leo. This was his entry for one of the entries of last year. This is version 1 as well, okay? So this is not the latest version. This was the very first version, and he was like, hey, let's try something new, and it's all really cool and good. Now, if we start looking at flow with this one, right? You got your supply already very much in the corner. So it's a bit annoying for like me right now. I'm going to get my power plant. It's going to take a while before I get to my main supply. Then there's just a narrow bridge here. And then there is an oil and whatever. And again, this is super duper easy to defend. And it's just like, there's no easy way to just come here and get this. Because once you defend this, you just put a few laser patriots here or something, or fire bases, and it's just defended, and it just cuts off any potential movement, you know, of other players or whatever. It just kind of closes it off. And that's sort of like one of the problems that this map has. So, you know, just a few bridges you can attack. That's about it. Then at the same time, you have over here just a few bridges. And, you know, if I want to attack a guy, then I would have to literally cross this platform here with the oil, and then go into his base and then try and attack him. Or I go like this, all the way down, and then all the way up. You know, it's not easy. If I'm China and I want to do a quick rush, then I have to succeed over here. This is literally my only chance to try and do a rush as China, or I will lose. And all that is needed to stop this is like, well, just a couple of, you know, units coming in before my dozer reaches this place and starts building a war factory. So this would be an example of just bad flow. It's way too easy to defend. It's way too difficult for a player to think of a way to attack. Like, especially like a GLA stealth general, for example, who won't have scud launchers or something. Like, they will probably have a hard time and just slowly bunker their way forward if they can and try and get onto an enemy's base. And it's just very difficult to play in that sense. So that's basically what I want to try and say regarding this concept of flow. It's not easy to understand, but once you get it, you're like, oh, I get it, you know. And I'm trying my best to explain to you guys as well. It's just a bit of a difficult concept. So I want to end here with a map that has pretty good flow. If I do sandbox, because it's nicer to show the map without the whole you know, fog of war thing. Let me see. So now it's sandbox. Maybe I won't die then. Let's see.
Unit lost.
Okay, I think we're good. Yeah. So basically, if you look at this map, right, you can see this is where I start. And if you look at the minimap, there are so many ways you can attack the other guy. You can go up here straight and attack. You can go around here and attack. You can go like this and attack, and like this and attack. Like you have this little section here you can be all sneaky about. Another thing is you will probably create your supply, and China will probably get this supply. The USA probably won't because it's just a few crates, but the USA might be more interested in getting an oil. You get the oil, you build a fire base, whatever, and at the same time you find yourself nice and close to the enemy. So the odds that you take the oil and then progress to attack the enemy, oh, that's very much possible. That's very much there. You know, it sort of opens the way for you to already start, you know, planning, shall I attack this guy, shall I not? And at the same time, you have a similar thing going on in the middle. Imagine a GLA here, for example. They will get their supply, then they will get this supply, and then they'll be like, well, I already got this supply. I already have a tunnel network here. I might as well put a tunnel network here on the road and then secure this oil. You know, there's that sort of natural progression. That is what I'm trying to explain. That concept of flow where the players really go like, oh, this is what I want to do next. And it just becomes like a natural response for them to do. So one thing that would be a bad idea is if you have, I don't know, an oil derrick in a very difficult location to get to. So let's say you have, at the back of the map, you create a little mountain, and all the way at the back of this mountain, you put one oil or something. That's really going to be outside of, like, what the player wants to do. The player wants to, you know, kill the enemy, so might as well put an oil in, like, the path of someone wanting to kill an enemy. And that's sort of the thing you got to do. So yeah, I just want to quickly, I wanted to explain this. It's a bit difficult to really explain the concept, you know? But once you get it, you're like, okay, yeah, I see how this works, you know? But that's basically it. You gotta have that flow. Don't try to put too much like hidden things here and hidden things there, where players have to go out of their way to try and get the benefits. And that means both on an economic sense, so like regarding oils and supplies, but also in a way of attacking someone, you know? In the first version of this map, actually I could show you guys that too, so you could probably see how the flow actually got better with this map over time. Do I still have it? No, I think I deleted it. No, I think I deleted it. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, but basically the first version of the map had a lot of things missing. So basically you can still see on the thumbnail here, like there were very narrow entrances between the players. That is usually a bad thing. You don't want to do that. You know, you want to keep it nice and big so people can get an army through, can get a load of units through, and you know, things like that. If you keep it narrow, if you keep it too easy to defend, maybe that's a good way of interpreting it. If the map is way too easy to defend, then probably something's wrong. You know, you got to open up the ways, you got to make it a little easier for the players to attack. But yeah, I wanted to just quickly show you guys just that. You know, I thought it would be a nice little tip. So if you're making your map and you're like, you know, I think I'll put a mountain here and then I'll put an oil, like, very difficult to get to, you know, that's probably not the best idea. And the same like with the middle. If you want to put like a little maze to get to the middle where you suddenly have like 2 supplies or something, it's probably not a good idea as well. So you got to keep that, you got to make it easy for the players to do what they want to do. That's basically the best way I can say this and interpret this.